Okay, so that's Euro USD. Let me look at another pair. GBP USD. GBP USD. So I've killed this trade before. Killed it. Okay, the GBP USD that you're talking about. So okay, I'm just doing my trend line. Yesterday this was what I did last week. What is this now? So um let me quickly explain something here. So this GBP USD, I had the previous trade, so you can understand. There are a lot of lines here. I told you it's all about lines, lines. So it's all about the lines. So like for here now, this point. Okay, let me not complicate things. Let me make it as simple as possible. Okay. So now looking at this point, um, okay, looking at this point, let me delete all this one. I don't want to confuse you. I don't want to. I'll put it back. I need all those lines back in place. So looking at this point now, remember what I told you. The same kind of trend line I drew in GBP in Euro USD. This point, all this bridge here. Eh? This red stuff is useless. Let me delete it. So you see, it's just about the same thing I did. It's about the same thing I did. Just remember, I told you about the Elliott wave. The Elliott wave. Or just if you don't understand, just leave the Elliott wave so I don't confuse you. I told you, price came into this zone here. It consolidated for a while. We call it consolidation, whereby price is the point whereby price is going up and down like this, going up and down. It's called consolidation. Whenever you see a consolidation, you don't just trade because you can't determine the next level. So and you break up. But some people trade this thing as support and resistance. Well, so once you just know that it goes up, comes down, you probably understand that it might support the same, it might respect the same support and still come down. But regardless, it is sometimes risky because it can break out. But it is best to just wait for a breakout. So I will call this Elliott wave again. When you let's count, told you Elliott wave is 5 count, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. When it came to this 5 point like this, the next point it can still come down, but if it's coming down, it's going to break. If it does not break again, it's more than 5, it's still fine. But if it is 5 count, it makes it that it shows that it is sure breakout. It is an Elliott wave that is valid, right? So that's just know that 5 counts: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it broke out. It could have reversed to this point. If it reverses, we'll be expecting a breakout to the downside. But if it exceeds 5 and says 6, we'll just know, okay, it's no longer an Elliott wave, but it is still a consolidated trade that would expect a clearer breakout. So for what that means is, just for like I told you, as it respected all these lines, these two lines, this line that I draw. Some people, traders trade this as support and resistance. But I'm not looking for this small amount of pips. I'm looking for something wild, something big, like fire that is going to spread. This is very small. This is very small for me. Looking at something very, very, very long, something huge. So, so when it tested these lines, it has been retesting these zones like this, up and down, up and down, up and down. It broke out at this point here. See the breakout. So when it broke out, as it broke out, one could have entered at this point. But I told you that whenever you see a breakout, expect a retest. It will retest this line. Yeah, it will retest it. But there's a break of structure here. A break of structure here. it is an uptrend, so it continued. It's a continuation trade, right? So it broke out. It broke out here, retested, a bit. So then it now, I told you, whenever you see a breakout, you wait for three things. Number one is the breakout. Number two is the retest, and then number three is the, reversal pattern. Reversal pattern shows that there's a continuation. So what is reversal pattern here? What is the reversal pattern here? This is it. When I saw all these, green consecutive candles here, or even this one self can serve as a reversal. I saw these green, consecutive candles here, from here, green candles. That is show that there is a buy, there's buying pressure coming in. So it now retested again. Now let me explain this quickly. You notice at this point here, this point here now is a resistance zone. Price tried to break out completely. It respected again. Tried the second time. When it eventually broke out, it now retested the same line the third time. Now, at this point, you can enter clean and clear. Now, you can see this is another, you know, bullish engulfing. What does that mean? What do I mean by bullish engulfing candle? You can see that this long green candle here engulfed the two previous bearish candle. It engulfs this entire move from this zone. So it is a clear pattern of an entry for a bullish signal that the price is going to go up. When I mean bullish, I mean upward. So I could have seen this green candle. Of course, I've seen a lot of confirmations from the way it broke out with force. See, from this point, it broke this big red, blue, bullish candle. It broke out with a lot of pressure. You can see this green part shows a lot of pressure. I saw this green again. I shows a lot of pressure, that the bullish pressure is going to be quite much. So when it retested, I could have entered here, entering at this point. So let me even show you long position. So I could have just entered here and set my stop loss at the previous low. This is the previous low here. So, and then take my 1:2 is okay. Now how do we look for target? Right? You look left. I told you. So this is the target point. I looked at this point here. It shows the previous resistance. So I just set it. It's not really much, but so that's it. This point like this. So that's the point at where I would have set my take profit, and it obeyed. So you see, that's it. A breakout, a retest, and it went up. I just hope you understand these things. Now when it got to my target, you can see the price reacted. It reversed immediately, because this target here is a resistance, a previous resistance. So that's why we always have to look left to see what has happened in the past, to know where we're going to get out of the market or get in. So that's it. So you see, when it reacted in a very serious way. It reacted seriously. Now let me even draw another one again here. Now, having seen this, I can even draw another trend line here. This video is long. I can even draw another trend line here, like this. So you see, what can you see here again? Number one, you can see the touch point 1, 2, 3 broke out. For a trend line to form, this is not an Elliott wave. This is just a simple trend line. For a trend line to be valid, the price has to touch it, respect it 3 times before the breakout. Now you see, One, two, three. Then it broke out at this point. See the strong bearish pressure. It respected this support. This resistance zone. It broke out with full force. Another signal is of a sell. Now one could have entered the signal. When you enter this signal here, you can just enter like this. No, hey, you can just enter a short position here. You can just enter like this, and then trail your stop loss. Take your profits to this side. So I could have entered like this at this point here. I could have entered like that, and just trail my profits like this. So it's another thing. So this is just simple resistance and support, right? So this is a trade I actually saw. Now this is the final one I'll be explaining. I don't want the video to be too long to see how long I've been monitoring GBP USD. So remember this zone where I marked is a resistance zone. I knew if whenever price gets to that point, it is going to reverse. I knew that already from our previous trade, from what I've explained. Remember, I just drew this trend line and I targeted the lowest side, and it respected. Like I drew this trend line and I targeted this point here, and it came down, right? So price reversed and went back to my zone again, which is the resistance point. So I took this trade, and what was I looking at? I was looking at the resistance zone, this zone here. You can see when price got to this place, it reacted sharply with its sell. So here I knew it was going to react off, even though it's consolidated for a while. What did I see? I just saw a simple resistance from the support and resistance. So it's simple resistance. So I entered the trade, and it came down to this point here. Naturally, this should have been my target, but I left the target here. I left it at the previous support zone. Now, for what I'm looking at next in GBP USD. So this is what I saw last week on Friday, like this. I remember I told you for a trend line to be valid, the price has to touch it 3 times. See what has happened? 1, 2, 3. At the third point, it broke out with full force. There's a breakout and retest. I told you, see, a breakout and retest. Even though it did not really touch it, but it has already retested that area. So it broke out and retested like this. So whenever I told you 3 things, when there's a breakout, you wait for a retest and a reversal pattern, or a continuation pattern. So since this is a downtrend and it broke out a downside, you are looking at a reversal pattern, right? A continuation pattern. So once it retested that zone, and I saw this bearish candle, very big. It is a bearish engulfing candle that engulfed the 3 bullish candles, the 3 previous bullish candles. So it came down like this and engulfed the 3 previous bullish candles, right? It shows a bearish signal. So instead of, I took this trade at the wrong time. When I should have taken this trade, I should have taken it at this point. When I saw this reversal pattern like this, this continuation pattern. When I saw this, let me even delete this. Let me not delete it. So you see, as you can see, this is it. As you can see, this sorry about the noise. This bearish candle here that engulfed the previous green. As it came down, I just know that it has broken and it's going to go down. Now all this bullish candle that is forming, it is just coming to retest this point, this line. I'm very sure when it touches this line, it's going to fall back. So let's see how it goes. If I look at the daily time frame, you can see. So let's just see how it goes for GBP USD. If if you look at the 1 hour time frame, it is still trying to test this zone here. What if I'm going to be entering this trade? I'll go back to 4 hour. I always like to analyze on the 4 hour. I do my analysis and entry on the 4 hour. So if I'm going to be entering this trade, I'm going to be entering this trade. Go and give it to Basam to plug it. Yeah, use your own chair to plug it. And my chair is not the same thing with this one. So so this is it. Short position here. I'm gonna be entering. I'll be entering like this. Then I'll set my stop loss at this point. But I don't want to do it. I'm just going to wait for the trade to align completely, and then we'll see how it goes. I have a lot of trades I'm looking at, but the videos are becoming much. So I'll send these ones that I've recorded. I hope you understand.